Top 10 Best Things to Do in Paris. Number 1. The Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower today remains as one of the most visited vacation spots on the planet. The Eiffel Tower can be reached by walking up to the first floor or by taking the elevator to the top, where they'll be treated with vast panoramic views of the city. Even though some recent visitors complain about long lines, especially in the summer, you can skip the line by purchasing tickets online at the Eiffel Tower's website. The tower that many Parisians once considered an aesthetic anomaly is unquestionably the symbol of the city. Today, no first trip to Paris would be complete without a climb of the Eiffel Tower. And though some travelers aren't crazy about the price to get to the top, many agree that the views are worth it. Additionally, visitors strongly recommend making an additional nighttime trek. This is due to the fact that the Eiffel Tower sparkles with thousands of flickering light bulbs every hour from dusk until 11 p.m., leaving tourists in awe. Number 2. Arc de Triomphe. Situated at the western end of the Champs-Élysées, the towering Arc de Triomphe was commissioned by Napoleon to honor the Grande Armée during the Napoleonic Wars. Several impressive sculptures with intricate carvings adorn the arch, which is the largest of its kind in the world. The names of the battles that were fought during the First French Republic and Napoleon's empire, as well as the generals who participated in those battles, can be found beneath the arch. Travelers will likewise track down the well-known burial place of the unknown soldier. The flame that was lit when the soldier was laid to rest has not been extinguished since it was initially lit in the 1920s, and it is rekindled every night at 6:30 p.m. by a member of the armed services. The unknown soldier that is currently buried there is meant to represent all of the unidentified or unaccounted for soldiers who lost their lives during World War I. Number 3. Notre-Dame Cathedral. Keep in mind that a fire in April 2019 caused significant damage to the cathedral. During the fire, its wooden roof and spire collapsed. Until further notice, the cathedral remains closed to the public. It is set to return in December 2024. In the interim, a brand new exhibit titled Notre-Dame de Paris at the heart of the construction site. The free exhibit, which is in an underground facility in front of the cathedral, focuses on the ongoing construction work at the site, including the expertise of the workers, as well as some firefighters' remains and cathedral artifacts. Due to the 2019 fire, Notre Dame is closed at the moment. It is free to look at from its public square, the Parvis. From Tuesday through Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., self-guided tours of the crypt are available. Access to the vault costs €9, or about $9. Number 4. Musée du Louvre. The Musée du Louvre is a must-see if you only have time for one museum in Paris. This is due to the fact that the Louvre is widely regarded as not only one of the best art museums in Europe but also one of the best museums in the world. Over 35,000 works of art are on display at the museum, which opened its doors in 1793. Here, you can get up close to a variety of art from various time periods and cultures. Ancient Grecian sculptures, such as the well-known Winged Victory of Samothrace and curvaceous Venus de Milo, can be found at the Louvre. The Louvre is closed on Tuesdays, but it is open from 9 a.m. to 9:45 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekends. For adults, admission is €17, or approximately $18, and for visitors under 17, it is free. Number 5. Versailles Palace. The sprawling palace and former seat of power known as the Château de Versailles can be found 10 miles southwest of Paris in the town of Versailles. Nearly 10 million people travel from Paris to see the château's world-famous grandeur in person each year. There are a variety of ticket options to choose from. The passport ticket, which costs €21.50, approximately $23, is recommended if you want to see the palace, gardens, temporary exhibitions, park, and other attractions. In the meantime, a palace ticket costs €19.50, or about $20.75. Versailles admission is free from November to March if you are in Paris on the first Sunday of the month. Number 6. Seine River. The Seine runs right through the heart of Paris, so finding it won't be difficult. The river is perhaps one of the most famous waterways in the world and an attraction in itself. Additionally, there are more practical uses for it. It divides the city into the left bank and the right bank as it flows from east to west. You can make the most of your trip by knowing where you are in relation to the Seine. The waterway is mostly used by tourists for pictures, but it is a lifeline for locals. It is essential for numerous kinds of commerce, a major transportation route, and a reliable source of water. Since the 3rd century, a great number of fishermen have relied on it for food. In 1991, the Seine waterway was named an UNESCO World Legacy Site because of its social importance in both the past and the present. Number 7. Luxembourg Gardens. The Luxembourg Gardens are a warm-weather oasis that offers the simplest of pleasures. They have 60 acres of green space where you can soak up the sun and watch people go by. Kids will also have a lot of fun here. You can simply unwind with a picnic or meander around the formal gardens and paths when the bustle of the city becomes too much. Kids can float sailboats at the Grand Basin, ride ponies, take a spin on the merry-go-round, or catch a puppet show at the on-site Théâtre de Marionnettes. Adults may enjoy the on-site Musée du Luxembourg, which was the first public museum in France. Even though the Luxembourg Gardens have 106 sculptures, one of which is a replica of the Statue of Liberty, they could easily be considered an open-air museum in and of themselves. Number 8. Paris Catacombs. Parisians buried their dead in cemeteries prior to the construction of the catacombs in the latter part of the 18th century. However, as the city grew, burial grounds ran out of space, graves started to show, and the surrounding neighborhoods smelled bad. The limestone quarry 65 feet below Paris eventually emerged as the solution, providing ample and safe space for the city's deceased residents. It took years to remove millions of bodies from every Parisian grave. Today, visitors with an interest in the deceased can make their way through the solemn, skull and bone-lined tunnels that weave beneath the heart of the City of Love. The city's catacombs extend for miles, but visitors can only access about a mile at the Denfert-Trochereau metro station for 45 minutes. It is against the law to attempt to enter the catacombs from any other city entrance. Number 9. Palais Garnier. The Opera Garnier, also known as the Palais Garnier, is a masterpiece of architectural opulence that still exudes the same opulence it did in the late 1800s. Both Gaston Leroux, the author of Phantom of the Opera, and the awe-inspiring old-world interiors of the Garnier, which served as his inspiration, are to blame for the opera's pervasive atmosphere of intrigue and mystery. Leroux successfully incorporated real-life opera events into his fiction, such as the chandelier falling and killing a bystander, proving that the phantom was real. Due to Leroux's writing skills and the lack of a solid historical record for the Garnier, many people have wondered if the opera really had a dweller beneath it. Purchasing a ticket to an opera or ballet performance is the best way to see the Palais Garnier in its entirety. Make sure to book your tickets a while ahead of time, as exhibitions are profoundly desired. In the event that you won't be visiting the area for an exhibition or aren't in the mood for giving up the as a rule excessive cost of a presentation, you can investigate the structure's glorious insides all alone. Number 10. Champs-Élysées. From the glittering obelisk at Place de la Concorde to the foot of the Arc de Triomphe, Paris' most famous boulevard is a shopping mecca. Along its wide, tree-lined walkways, you'll find such extravagant stores as Louis Vuitton and Chanel hobnobbing with less expensive foundations like Adidas and Zara. Despite the fact that the Champs-Élysées is without a doubt a shopping mecca, recent visitors noticed that the prices at the majority of stores can be quite high. Additionally, the less expensive choices are frequently overrun with people. The Champs-Élysées themselves are no exception. Since this is a particularly renowned street in Paris, expect there to be crowds galore, both during the day and the nighttime. And that's all folks, I really hope you enjoy the video, see you in the next one.